due to the expansion of capitalism, there we come to the imperialism. So capitalism needs raw materials. Capitalism needs supermarkets and markets, I mean, in general. Capitalism needs cheap labor. Capitalism needs huge market to sell their products. So don't move from this channel. This is Libe YouTube University of Africa, about Africa issues. We can say a little bit about capitalism. So capitalism, we say monopoly capitalism. Monopoly capitalism is comprised of an association of capitalists. They control the production of sales of most of the particular goods. There may be different forms of monopoly capitalism, such as cartel, but the main interest is maximization of profit. This is FR.LIBERIO of Kigoma, Catholic Diocese, Tanzania. Subscribe. So there are features in capitalism. The monopolies controlled the economies, political life, and governments of their countries. Take, for instance, the colonies which were under British. They say Commonwealth countries. So that means the prolongation of the colonization. That means those colonies which were under Britain or British, they continue to be exploited in the neo-colonialism by calling them that calling by themselves that they are under the Queen of Britain. So Queen of Britain is still colonizing all the countries which were called Commonwealth countries. That is the secret that we Africans are still being colonized in the absence of the Europeans. So the Europeans colonize us outside of when they are away from our land. That is, so the extension, what they do is just an annexation of colonial ruling. So that means we are here Tanzania saying we are independent, but still we are still under colonial domination. That's why under the umbrella of Commonwealth. That is. So we say the monopolies control the economies, political life, and the governments of their countries. Larger monopolies divided the remaining part of the world and exerted their sphere of influence. So they extend their sphere of influence. The larger monopolies usually derived power from their home governments in their endeavor to seize foreign lands. This led to the growth of monopoly imperialism. That is imperialism. We wish to appreciate the author of the book. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, Imperialism 2.0, why Africa was colonized. So imperialism is almost the extension of colonization, neo-colonization. That's why in his book, this Ernest Boniface Makulilo says that when Tanganyika or Tanzania and other African, likewise other countries, when they got the independence, they ate, they drank alcohol, they did many things, but that was not real independence. That's why we are still under the colonial influence. So that's why we cannot decide for ourselves. And if we decide for ourselves, we shall be in a hot soup. That's why many African countries have to be directed by the former colonial masters. So we are not free at all. We are not independent. That we are shadow independent. Yes, we have new flags. We have our flags. We have our national psalms, but we cannot say ourselves that we are free. So that is capitalism. Capitalism. What is capitalism? So capitalism, or free enterprise, of modified free enterprise, is defined as political and socio-economic system based on private property and private profit. So they just extend industries, they extend markets, they extend cheap labors, they extend huge accumulation of raw materials to feed for their industries. That's why the year 1850, after no, it was the year, the year 1850 was the year to look for the spheres of influence, to look for the raw materials, to look where the Europeans can exploit more and more to African spheres of influence. So now, where is China now? According to Ernest Boniface Makuriro, in this book, Imperialism 2.0, he speaks about the modern Chinese, that we had the socialist state as Chinese, during the domination of Mao Zedong. So after Mao, what we see is that we see the capitalist Chinese. So it is now their time, the Chinese, to come to Africa, to exploit, to extend their market, to extend their their spheres of influence. So it is their time. Thank you very much for this lecture. I'm FR.LIBERIO from Kigoma Catholic Diocese, Tanzania, East Africa. Ciao. And don't move from this channel. Subscribe if it is the first moment to subscribe. Subscribe, share, comment. Thank you.